What's up, everybody? Wanted to do a quick breakdown of choosing an appropriate working weight. Now, if you're a coaching client, a lot of times we might prescribe a weight for you, especially if there is a strength exercise like squatting, benching, thing, that kind of thing, because we'll have a ballpark range. But really, what we're looking for is finding a weight that challenges you physically enough, but also allows you to own the movement. And the thing that I like to ask myself on every rep even is, did I own that rep or did I survive it? And that's really what we're looking for when we're trying to find appropriate working weights. We're trying to find enough of a stimulus that makes change on the body. And maybe it's within a particular rep range. And then once that muscle is no longer doing the work or you're accomplishing that task within our form standards, then the set is over or it's already beyond over. So just a quick breakdown of some of this stuff. The way I like to think about it is when we're choosing an appropriate working weight, we're looking for something that feels very stable right from the start. You can breathe, you can brace with intent. Reps look and feel the same throughout the entire set. Your first rep, your last rep looks exactly the same. The last rep just might be slower. Survival reps is those kind of sloppy, rushed reps. You're forcing a certain number of reps or forcing a weight that you might not be ready for. So especially when we're doing programming, it's really useful to know, because a lot of times we just see numbers. And when we see these numbers, we're just anticipating that these were beautiful, perfect reps, right? And so you adding either a reps in reserve is really nice to see sometimes. So reps in reserve, for example, might be how many beautiful reps are you capable of doing, and where did you stop that set? So not those ugly kind of grindy, you're shifting or your shoulder is kind of coming out of the socket, those kind of things, right? So we're looking to make sure that technique, in terms of like survival reps, these are the ones that like technique changes rep to rep. You're using like overly relying on momentum to do all the work. And you're kind of more reacting to the weight or the number of reps. So you're forcing things a little bit. So again, we're looking for kind of ownership of movement, strong positions, full control. If I told you to stop on a dime, you'd be able to have control over that movement. Really consistent technique, intentional movement. Again, those survival reps, rushed, bouncing, just surviving. We want to know that you can confidently do it. So if the form breaks down, right, congratulations, you kind of survived a shitty rep. Let's get back into a good zone. So stop the set, maybe record what you actually did. So I wouldn't record the shittier reps because you're just going to try to improve on those reps. And then let's try to progress on quality, not forcing the reps here. So strength focused work, we're typically going to stay in a like 1 to 10 rep range there, just because I find that there's so many moving parts, right? So the weakest link rules the chain. So if your low back is fatigued first, we're now we're limiting the movement on your low back versus your legs, right? So we always want to leave at least a rep or two in reserve on the strength side of things. So maybe even more, especially in that early stage where we're just practicing, building up conditioning, getting a lot of good practice. The closer you get to that proximity of failure, the less good reps or quality reps you're going to get after that. So sometimes accumulating a lot of quality reps is better than you going to that end range, right? So they both have value. You pushing things is great from a performance standpoint. We're looking for like testing or measuring. We probably want to do less sets and work at like kind of closer to that proximity of failure, not necessarily at failure. And if we want to get better, we want to build more muscle. We want to have more quality sets and distribute that intensity across more. Again, these both have value and they both have importance. So we're looking for stuff that doesn't create a panic, rushing, or breakdown. You should have confidence between every single set too. For strength work, heavy is good, but again, we're not trying to lose ownership here. For your muscle building or accessory work, there's less risk of injury there, right? Because if we're working maybe just a bicep curl, we don't have to worry about all of these other moving parts like your shoulder or your back getting hurt, right? So you can go closer to that proximity of failure as long as the muscle, the intended muscle, is doing the work. So we're looking for intentional tension, not just adding recklessly load to the movement, right? So we want to be able to keep tension on that muscle. Things slow down because the muscle is now recruiting these high threshold motor units to finish out that set. You should be able to feel that muscle the entire working set too. If your joints or momentum or your setup become the limiting factor, the weight's too heavy, right? So you can adjust the load on there. And a lot of times these accessory movements are done after the strength movement. So It's harder to progress perfectly all the time because whatever energy you got left in the workout is going to be dedicated to your accessory work. So sometimes you might be able to do more weight and it feels appropriate, and sometimes you might have to do less. But again, we're looking on that strain, those last couple hard reps, that mechanical tension is what we're really seeking for on the accessory work. So you have the ability to kind of go up or down in weight and, find that appropriate load if you need to. Right. So one last slide here. So simple checklist. Before you set up, you ask yourself, do I have ownership of this rep? Do you have confidence in this set here? Can I repeat the rep with the same quality if you're going to do like another set or another rep? Does this weight match the goal of this exercise? Am I kipping up a bicep curl? Am I kind of pulling, is the shoulder kind of rising up so I'm no longer engaging my lat on a pull up, right? If you can answer these questions, this makes you very intentional. I talk about this in one of the articles, but you're in the pursuit of the perfect rep. Every rep you do, give that little like feedback response in there where you say, can I get this? Is this good? Should I keep doing this? Should I adjust the load or should I stop the set? Those kind of things. So if the answer is, I hope I survive this set or I hope I survive this rep, adjust the load or stop the set, right? Again, the, big picture here, your program is designed to build strength, build muscle, reduce the risk of injury, be sustainable long term. So we're trying to find enough of a stress on the system without overdoing it, causing an injury, right? So that one extra rep that you're getting, while it seems maybe achievable and you can grind it out, I think there is some value in grit and kind of grinding through something. But as someone that has gotten hurt in the past and then gets set back 6 months and then you're starting over again, that extra rep just isn't worth it. Like showing up repeatedly over long periods of time, you're going to get there faster than you just forcing one additional rep every single time. So when in doubt, choose control, choose quality, choose reps that you'd be proud of and that you could repeat. And imagine I'm watching over you and, don't make me throw up in my mouth. Okay. All right. That's all I got for you today. Get after it. I'll see you in the gym.